This is Beekeeper Confidential, a show about the curious lives of bees and their beekeepers. I'm your host, Mandy Shaw. On today's show, we visit with a biologist who is an applied researcher of honeybee husbandry at the University of Florida's Honeybee Research and Extension Lab. His work is dedicated to solving problems that large commercial beekeeping operations are faced with. He spends time in the field and in the lab trying to make things better for beekeepers and their bees. But his passion for biology and photography, coupled with his desire to teach and share his knowledge with others, has led him to create a very high-quality video series that features honeybee biology, diagnostics, the science behind the discoveries, and issues that are relevant to keeping bees in today's environment. He has a true worker bee mentality, working selflessly for the greater good of the beekeeping industry. Meet Dr. Humberto Boncristiani of Inside the HiveTV. Hello, this is Mandy.
Hi, Mandy. How are you?
I'm good. I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with me today.
My pleasure. Anything to help you and your cause and the bees and everybody that enjoy bees, I'm in.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so great to meet like-minded people who want to do work to help beekeepers and spread information about honeybee biology. And that was one of the first things that excited me when I came across your channel. I think it was about a year ago. I saw your video about small hive beetles.
I'm glad that you enjoyed them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing them. I think it's fun and people can learn something from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the quality of your videos is really good. So in addition to having a background in science, do you also have a background in the arts?
I'm a professional photographer as well from Maryland. I have a business there before I moved to Florida, and I did a little bit of videography too. So I did weddings, I did portraits. Yeah, I'm engaged with photography for a long time.
So is it wonderful to be at a place where the intersection between honeybees and your photography come together?
I think I had to put this together, when sometimes the energies come together and you need to do something and something just born from nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the way Inside the Hive.tv started.
And what do you think it was that put everything into alignment to make that happen?
I was struggling with the research part of the beekeeping. But at the same time, when you do research and you work with that, you do not enjoy the beekeeping like as a beekeeper itself, the way I was before. Mm-hmm. And also I have this artistic side that I like to pursue all my whole life, but they never got together with the work that I was doing. It was always something in parallel. And then the story is long. Do we have time?
We have time. Tell me whatever you want to tell me.
The way Inside the Hive.tv was born was quite interesting. There was a lot of things that happened that just come up to this, whatever it is right now. I'm not sure where I'm going with Inside the Hive.tv, but I think we're going to get something big from that. I have big plans now. But everything started when in 2016. I'm from Brazil. I'm Brazilian, and I have a teacher of mine, a very special person in my life that passed away in 2016. And this person, he's very shy. I don't think he would like me to say his name.
Okay.
So I will respect that.
Okay.
He always introduced me to books and to give him a lot of my background, educational background. And I really appreciate the effort of this kind of people that just give to other people with no asking and it's just not asking anything in return. And then he passed away in 2016, and I was feeling like I should do something to continue the legacy, just to teach somebody and just to continue the work that he was doing. And then I was coming with that idea, and the bees are dying, my photography and videographer background. Why not try to do this internet thing and see if I can reach more people, even more people, to see if I can teach people around and show different things, and people can beneficiate from my work. And that's the beginning of Inside the Hive.tv. I'm having fun now.
Well, it definitely shows, and it looks like you are reaching a global audience already. I was looking at some of the comments that people were leaving on YouTube, and I could see that not everybody is from here in the United States. That's something that's so exciting about the technology that we have, is we really can reach people on a global level.
It is very powerful, and I'm learning every day a little bit more, and every time I learn something new, I got kind of scared, like how powerful things can be, and the amount of reach that we have now. I have some people in Africa that sent me a comment on Facebook a while ago that they were very happy they could improve the way they were doing the beekeeping with some information they got from my videos that I never would think somebody would get that information from that video. I don't even remember what it was, but it just makes you feel good about it. Somebody just improved their lives with something really simple that I did here.
Yeah.
And why not continue doing that?
What are the things that people most want to hear about when you're traveling and talking to groups about honeybees?
Normally I fulfill requests from bee clubs. So they asking me to give a talk, and I ask them what you guys need to hear about it, and I try to accommodate to their needs. But recently, most of what I'm talking about is honeybee viruses and small hive beetles and commercial beekeeping practices, because that's what I do at the University of Florida. My research program is dedicated to solve problems dedicated for commercial beekeepers, the big commercial operations, like thousands of hives.
I heard recently that the large commercial operations no longer survive on honey sales because honey production is becoming less and less over time, and that they survive on pollination. Is that true?
I wouldn't say they do not survive on honey, but what I can tell you that the big money in beekeeping today is in pollination, especially in the United States. The big money is in pollination, and commercial operations are more towards economics than anything else, so they normally have a tendency to go that direction.
I recently watched your video about washboarding behavior, and at the end of it, you talked about how maybe we need to look more at how wild colonies survive and try and learn new things about how we can better keep bees in our backyards. Do you think that can be applied to commercial settings as well? Are there hive modifications that can be made?
That's part of my goal, to help commercial beekeepers to treat their bees a little better. I have a feeling that a good part of the commercial beekeepers that I work with do not care about the bees too much. It's more about the economics, and I don't enjoy the movement too much. And I believe that there are changes that can be done, and they're gonna feel the benefits of those changes. And I think it's part of my work to educate them as well, to take better care of their bees, so the bees consequently is gonna be healthier and produce more for them.
What do you think are some of the things that they can do, or even backyard beekeepers can do, to take better care of their bees?
I think people need to focus on management. Today, before beekeeping were very easy when we have all the resources. The world is changing. I like to say this a lot in my channel, which is true. The world is changing. The vegetation, the time of blooming. There is a lot of things going on in the world that we don't really understand very well. Right now, we have indications from scientific articles that there is something going on. And when big changes like that happen, the bees, of course, they sense. They lose their timing, and they need to readapt to these new conditions. So that takes time. But we as beekeepers, with knowledge, we can help them. And I think management is a big part of that. I know a lot of commercial beekeepers that are really, really good in management, and they have very good looking bees, healthy, very healthy bees. And it's just because they're really good in management that there is no way around, like, I'm going to do this tomorrow. No, there is no tomorrow with honeybees today. You need to do it today. You need to do it today. People need to understand the biology of bees and the biology of the pathogens and the pests that bees carry. So they need to know the timing, the symptoms. They need to be with their eye open for these details, because details in beekeeping today really matters. And 40 years ago was different. We were able to put hives in any place, and the hive was able to get what they need almost everywhere. So people never really have to learn deeply about bee biology. But today, if you want to survive in beekeeping, you have to have a better understanding about bee biology.
And you come from a beekeeping background.
I'm a second-generation beekeeper in my family in Brazil. We have a small operation with my father to produce honey, and I helped them for many years, and that's the way everything started. But I never was very enthusiastic with bees when I was younger, because when you grow up around the Africanized bees as a kid, you always got stung a lot, and you don't like it, of course. So I never enjoy it very much. I tried to get rid of the bees in my life for so many years. I couldn't. I went to college, and I decided, okay, no more bees. I'm going to study spiders, venoms of spiders.
Oh, wow.
Apparently the only job they have there that could, for undergrad, they have some payments involved, some kind of paycheck, was with bees, and I was just, oh my God, here we go again. And then I did the job, and then I said, okay, no more bees. I moved from the town and go to do my master's and my PhD with biology, human biology. I was doing vaccines for children.
Wow.
And I was very happy with that. And then in 2005-06, CCD and the collapse of the bees started to happen in the United States, and all this buzz about the decline. And then the USDA here in the United States were looking for a biologist that have background in beekeeping with bees. And apparently I was the only guy on the planet that time that have that background. And then I looked to the sky and said, okay, I give up. I'm a bee guy. Okay, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Wow. That's a great story.
Yeah, it is funny. When I look back, it's just kind of, wow, yeah, I think I'm supposed to be doing this.
So, I mean, here you probably aren't working with Africanized bees too often. I don't know that you have them in Florida, do you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Especially in South Florida.
Okay.
They're already here. It's illegal to keep them by the state law, but it's hard. Africanized bees are very powerful, and the main reason that we cannot control them too much is not even the biology, that some beekeepers start to enjoy them because of the strengths they have regarding resistance to pests, and they're more aggressive, but they have some beneficial on them too. So that's the hard part. So what we have here in Florida, especially in the South Florida, a lot of them.
Do you think that they may hold one of the keys to solving the problem with the health of the honeybees that we have now?
I think what can help us is management. I know a lot of beekeepers that are really good commercial with big operations that are able in locations to keep very good looking bees. And neighbors of them that keep the bees in the same area, they are very complaining about everything. The bees are dying, but when you look the heat map and look at the map and see the locations where they are, you clearly can see that it's a management issue. It's not anything weird or strange that's happening. It's just the guy didn't get the right timing to do the things, or decide to feed with something new that he never tested before, or
that was
didn't
something else interesting that you made a video about, was the beekeeper that was feeding some secret formula that they wouldn't share with you, and then you tested that.
Yeah, beekeepers are they like to test everything, which is okay. I don't have problems with that, but just be careful if you want to do experiment. Don't do the experiment in your whole operation. Because that's exactly what happened. The guy called me with 60% losses. I said, oh my God, what's going on? So I drove there, spent the day with the beekeeper. We look everything. I look everywhere. We couldn't find too much, nothing that really triggered my attention about the way he was doing his beekeeping. He was a good beekeeper. But apparently, there was something that I noticed when he pointed out, oh, did you see here this hive? Everything is dead. Then I looked down and looked with more detail and said, you're absolutely right, sir. Everything is dead here, including the bees, small hive beetle larvae, the ants, the plants.
Whoa.
Everything is dead.
Oh my gosh.
So then the first idea that comes to my mind, whatever is the feeding, something in the feeding might be problematic here. So I got a sample of the feeding, bring to the lab, and perform a viability experiment. I feed the bees with them, and have a control bees feeding only with the sugar water. The bees were dying 50% faster when they're consuming whatever he was giving to the bees. Wow. So he was very happy with that I practically save his operation.
Oh,
because he will continue. The funny part was that the bees were enjoying whatever he was doing. The bees were taking.
Wow.
And that was scary to me because he didn't want to mention everything he put in. And normally I have a rule that I do not believe 100% the beekeepers because it's true. I think we can say this here. Beekeepers and fishermen have some traits in common. And I think I can't rely completely on the things they say sometimes. They want to hide or they want to exaggerate the amount of operation or whatever they put in. It's okay. So, but in this case, I was able to find a problem, but I still don't know what the formulation is.
Wow.
Yeah. He gave me some of the ingredients, but because I don't know the whole story, I don't know how they were stored, in stock. I don't know what he did. I prefer to not mention the brand so I can protect the brand because I know the brand in other parts. I never heard anything problematic with the brand, but that's my life. That's what I do every day. I visit beekeepers around the country.
What's the craziest thing you've seen?
Well, this is one of those. This kind of thing makes me really sad when I see this. That is the beekeeper's fault, and he doesn't know. That makes me sad because they can't help himself because he thinks he's doing everything right and keep doing whatever he was doing and keep killing the bees. What intrigues me sometimes is why people believe things that you can clearly see that's not true. That's really fascinates me when I go to beekeepers and talk to them. They said, no, I don't have mites. Sir, you have mites. Look at this. You have 300 mites here. No, I don't have mites. Then I just lost it. I don't understand. So, sir, look. It's here. You can see it. No, I don't have mites. Then I don't know what to say anymore. Just lost the rationality behind the whole communication, and that's very intriguing to me.
What do you think it is? Do you think that people are
I
afraid
don't
to
know.
admit? I mean, I
I don't know. So there is this two sides of beekeeping now that kind of I'm not going to say confronting each other, but the organic beekeepers, the people that treatment free versus the people that treat or commercial guys, that kind of thing. I'm right in the middle of this because I believe beekeeping is all about balance. I know beekeepers, commercial guys that have thousands and thousands of hives, and they can take care of the bees very well if they know what they're doing and have strict protocols and good management. The bees are really good. And I know the other side too. There are guys that do not treat, and depending on where they are and the conditions, they are able to keep good-looking bees without treatment as well. But it's very location dependent. So when you try to change that and move whatever protocol he is doing to another location, just become a mess. And then bees die, and people create a lot of stories, and then more names, and artificial syndrome is here, and people start to freak out. What's fascinating to me is about the stories. Everybody likes to come up with a different story. Like, in the state of Florida now, they have the crud. Have you ever heard about the crud?
The crud? No.
Yeah. The crud is apparently a bacterial infection that affects the brood.
Okay.
And everybody have a different opinion about it. They talk a lot about it. And I visited several beekeepers when they're complaining about it, and I take a look and take a picture and see what it is. But everybody that I stop by is a different bee and a different symptom and the same name. So at the end of the day, I don't know what the crud is, because this beekeeper number one say this, the beekeeper number two show me something else, and the beekeeper number three show something different, completely different from the previous two guys. So I see problems. I see things that looks like a different version of European pulpwood. Mm-hmm. There are some studies that pointing out that it's a different strain of European pulpwood.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because EFB was actually on my list of topics to discuss with you today.
Okay.
Yeah. I know where I live in the Willamette Valley in the Pacific Northwest, this year there were far more reports to our state bee lab about EFB. And I kind of wonder if maybe it's more prevalent than we know, and maybe it sort of hides under the radar because the symptoms, from what I understand, they can vary. But what you're describing sounds a little bit more complicated.
I believe we have a new strain of EFB circulating, and people start to study and take a better look at that. The symptoms are very consistent to me. I don't know about other states, but here in Florida, which is a very important state. All 1/4 of the bees in the United States stop by in Florida, so we have a lot of bees going on.
Wow.
A lot of bee stuff going on in Florida. So I see a lot of things, and that's my visual impression. I don't have data and numbers study conducted, but I start to see more European pulpwood symptoms like in hives that I didn't before. If this is a new thing, maybe.
From what I understand, one of the triggers for it is poor nutrition. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
Do you think that maybe we're seeing more of it because poor nutrition is just becoming the norm?
Poor nutrition become the norm is very related with the beekeeper. There is one rule in beekeeping that people forget is location, location, location. Yeah, when you try to keep bees in a desert, you're going to have more problems, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. So that's a problem for not commercial, I would say. People, backyard beekeepers that do not move their hives.
Yes.
So it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's the kind of pets that you have that do not tell you what's going on about their nutrition. You don't know what they're eating too much. You don't know if they have enough. Sometimes you think they have enough. They have a lot of pollen coming in and nectar, but that's not a good quality thing. And you believe they're okay because visually you see quantity, but quantity doesn't mean quality in that specific matter, and might be missing a lot of important nutrients in that specific nectar and pollen source they're getting at that time, and they just start to slow down and nobody understands why.
Do you think that every beekeeper, including backyard beekeepers, should keep certain test kits in their supplies?
If they have the money for, I would say yes.
Yeah, well, so in a perfect world, and beekeeping wasn't one of the most expensive hobbies on the planet, what would be the essential test kits to have in your toolbox?
I think it's knowledge, the first one. You need to identify American fall brood, for example. You have to. This is very important. There's very dangerous disease that spread and can destroy the bees in a county, in a whole state very fast. So we need to have the knowledge to identify the disease. And I think most of them today is about have the knowledge for. The ones that you cannot see, like even European fall brood, you're able to see signs. For viruses, I don't know. Normally this is a discussion I have with everybody. Okay, have a virus here. What are you going to do about it? There is not much to do about it, other than maybe isolate that colony or to feed them better, see if the immune system can go up with the better nutrition. But it's always a question mark on that. Something that I'm very involved now. I don't know if you heard about an app called Health Bee Guru or something like that.
Yes, I have heard about that.
Yeah, I'm part of the team that are testing and helping the developers, because if something that like that app become available and is reliable, I think it's a game changer for everybody. It's very simple. You put your phone inside the entrance of the hive, and it's going to record the sound inside and can predict different things, like diseases, queen right or queen wrong. They have all kinds of measurements. They believe they're able to do it, which is very interesting. If you're able to make it reliable, that would be great. You don't need to open your hives anymore. You just put the app, record the sound, and you have a report about the conditions of your hive. That would be amazing. So I'm working hard with them, trying to feed the algorithm with good information. So
I'm so curious about the development of that and how many circumstances you had to record with to get what.
Yeah, there's so many variables. The different phones, the different environments. If the bees are in the city, they have background noises that probably interfere. There is a lot of going on, and they're working really hard. There is artificial intelligence involved. It's a beautiful setup. It's very serious people, and they believe they have something, and I'm trying to help them out.
That is very exciting. And it's not available yet. Do they have a time frame when they think it will be available?
I think what happened is they have the fundraising now and just finished the fundraise.
Okay.
And there is a lot of backers there that give them money, so they receive the app and help. It's going to help. We are helping to tune the app. People are feeding the algorithm with a lot of information, so the algorithm can learn from different phones, different locations, different information, and I think it's going to take a little while, but
so cool.
I think we're going to have a presentation in Apimondia. Are you going to be in Apimondia in Montreal?
I'm not. You're the third podcast guest to ask me that. No, this year I hadn't planned on it at all, but now I have so many friends that are going to be there, and I wish that I could go.
Have you ever been in Apimondia before?
No, I don't really travel very much. I have two little kids, and I have the dog and the chickens and all kinds of stuff going on here. But I think if I planned ahead really well, I could make it.
Yeah, Apimondia is every 2 years, so you have 2 years to plan.
Okay, you have to remind me. I'm gonna have people really light a fire under me to get me to do it.
I think the next one is going to be in Russia.
Oh my gosh, what? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The previous one was in Turkey, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Well, it sounds amazing. Do you know Dr. Sami Ramsay?
Yes. You probably saw we have 2 videos together.
Oh, no, I totally missed that.
Yeah, I have 2 videos with him. Yeah, talking about the fat bodies and his publication. Tropical labs are very scary. Very scary tropical labs.
I'm participating in the USDA, their APHIS survey. Our state bee lab came out, and they're the ones pulling all the samples. They said that that was one of the things that they were looking for was the tropicolaps mite.
Yeah, we don't want that one.
Pretty scary stuff. Yeah, I like to look at the hive debris that I find on the bottom board of the hives. I like to look at it under my microscope. And recently I found something that looked a lot like a tropicolaps mite. It was really, really tiny. It was like a little bit less than half the size of a varroa. And so I caught it somehow, and I put it in a jar, and I brought it down to the state lab, and they looked at it, and they compared it to, they had a tropicolaps sample, and they put them side by side. And the one that I brought in, the legs weren't long enough, so they don't think that it was tropicolaps. But Dr. Ramesh Sagili was saying there are so many organisms in a beehive. Yeah,
that's true.
It's crazy.
Well, if people want to know more about, I think that's a part of the story how Inside the Hive.tv also starts, because I remember I was coming back from Thailand, and I was very impressed with tropicolaps. And I made a couple of videos there. I said, I need to show this to the people. How am I going to show this to people? So that was my first video in Inside the Hive.tv. It's about tropicolaps, and there is a video. I put comparison, very simple, basic ways to identify and compare with varroa. Okay. My first video. I'm doing this for people, so I receive requests all the time. People ask me, I do it. That's the way it works.
That is so cool. Are you funding Inside the Hive TV out of your own pocket?
Yes.
Wow.
I need to find a way to change that, because I start to get a little too much.
It's a lot, yeah.
I'm working on maybe in a Patreon page right now, but I don't
Good.
know exactly how I'm going to do that, because I have a lot of extra videos that I think I can show on Patreon, like for people that help me to support the channel, and I can show a lot of behind the scene things, and I think that could be interesting too.
It's all really exciting.
Amazing. It is very exciting. I start to meet so many people, and everybody talks to me.
Yeah.
And the videos is very time consuming to do, and the equipment involved, I have very, very good equipment. I spend money in good equipment, and sometimes break the equipment I need to replace. I need a Patreon. I think I need to do that faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
It starts to get really expensive. Well, for all your listeners, thank you for support. If you can support me too, subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can receive notifications when I have post new videos. And whatever you need, I'm here to help you guys. I'm working on a kind of beekeeping 101 series, so I can provide a video to teach people about beekeeping. Very challenging, because beekeeping is very something that you do in South America, you don't do in North America, because it might not be the same, and it might actually hurt the bees. So I'm really trying to be responsible in the internet, because I'm going to reach a lot of different people in different environments. I'm not sure how I'm going to pull this off, but I think I'm going to come up with something. I saw a lot of videos and channels out there with big followers, and I see some videos that I thought, oh my God, I hope these people in South America is not doing this, because it could be that could be a different story. And that's my challenge right now, to provide information that everybody can benefit you from.
Yeah, well, I have total faith in your project, and I know you'll come up with something amazing.
All right, thank you for the support.
All right, cool.
I hope to see you around in any bee meeting. And
that would be amazing. I might be coming to Florida in March.
All right.
So
Good.
we'll
So
see.
stop by the lab and we give you a tour in the new lab.
Oh my
Fantastic
gosh, that would be so cool. Okay. All right. Thank
All
you
right.
so much and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye. To connect with Dr. Boncristiani, subscribe to his Inside the Hive YouTube channel, and you can also find him on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you've been enjoying the show, I would love it if you left us a review on iTunes and shared or liked Beekeeper Confidential on social media. And remember that Beekeeper Confidential has a new website that includes a community forum where listeners can connect and share stories and comment on episodes. Until next time, may the buzz be with you. Beekeeper Confidential is a Waggleworks production and is written and produced by Mandy Shaw.